Behind the curtain. A glimpse into the lives of North Korean women. North Korea, a secluded nation shrouded in secrecy, remains an enigma to the outside world. Behind its tightly controlled borders lies a society largely cut off from global influences. While information about daily life in North Korea is scarce and often filtered, glimpses into the lives of its citizens, particularly women, reveal a complex and often troubling reality. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea, as it officially calls itself, presents a narrative of equality and prosperity. However, the lived experiences of women tell a different story, one marked by persistent gender discrimination, limited opportunities, and a constant struggle for basic rights. Despite the regime's claims of a socialist utopia, North Korean women face significant challenges in their daily lives. Traditional Confucian values, which emphasize patriarchal structures and female subservience, remain deeply ingrained in society. This patriarchal framework permeates various aspects of life, from the home to the workplace, limiting women's choices and opportunities. The government's tight control over information and expression further restricts women's ability to challenge these norms or advocate for their rights. International human rights organizations and defectors have shed light on the systemic discrimination faced by North Korean women. Reports detail widespread gender-based violence, limited access to education and employment opportunities, and a lack of reproductive rights. These issues are often exacerbated by the country's precarious economic situation, marked by poverty and food insecurity. This essay aims to provide a glimpse into the untold story of women's rights in North Korea, exploring the challenges they face and highlighting their resilience in the face of adversity. By understanding the plight of North Korean women, we can begin to challenge the international community to raise awareness, advocate for change, and support the pursuit of gender equality and human rights within this isolated nation. The stories of these women deserve to be heard, their struggles acknowledged, and their resilience celebrated as they navigate a system that often seeks to silence and suppress them. The weight of tradition, gender roles, and expectations. From birth, North Korean women are often confined to predetermined roles dictated by deeply entrenched patriarchal traditions. These societal expectations, rooted in Confucianism, shape their life choices and limit their aspirations. The concept of seonyo, which translates to virtuous woman, heavily influences societal expectations of women. This ideal emphasizes submissiveness, obedience, and the prioritization of family over individual pursuits. Women are expected to be dutiful daughters, wives, and mothers, responsible for maintaining the household, raising children, and supporting their husbands. Deviation from these roles is often met with disapproval and social pressure. The emphasis on traditional gender roles is evident in the education system, where girls are often steered towards domestic skills and caregiving professions. Textbooks and curricula reinforce these norms, perpetuating the cycle of inequality. While men are expected to be providers and heads of the household, women are often relegated to secondary roles, both within the family structure and in society at large. This power imbalance manifests in various aspects of life, including decision-making, access to resources, and opportunities for advancement. The weight of these expectations often leaves women with limited agency over their own lives, forcing them to prioritize the needs of their families over their own ambitions. The persistence of traditional gender roles not only restricts individual freedoms, but also hinders societal progress. By limiting women's participation in public life and decision-making processes, North Korea deprives itself of the talents and contributions of half its population. Breaking free from these deeply ingrained norms is crucial for fostering gender equality and creating a more just and equitable society for all citizens. Education and employment. Unequal opportunities from the start. Education, often touted as the great equalizer, falls short of its promise for women in North Korea. While the country boasts universal primary and secondary education, disparities between genders emerge early on and continue throughout their lives. Although women are encouraged to be literate and contribute to society, their educational paths and employment opportunities are often limited by societal expectations and systemic biases. From a young age, girls are often steered towards subjects deemed suitable for their expected roles as wives and mothers. These typically include home economics, sewing, and other domestic skills, while boys are encouraged to pursue STEM fields and careers that are seen as more prestigious and financially rewarding. This gendered tracking persists into higher education, where women are underrepresented in fields such as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Employment opportunities for women are often limited to lower-paying, less prestigious sectors, such as agriculture, textiles, and the service industry. Women are also heavily concentrated in childcare and other caregiving roles, which are often undervalued and underpaid. The wage gap between men and women is significant, with women consistently earning less than their male counterparts for similar work. The lack of economic empowerment further reinforces women's dependence on men and limits their ability to challenge traditional gender roles. Without equal access to education and employment opportunities, women are denied the chance to reach their full potential and contribute to society on an equal footing with men. Addressing these systemic barriers is crucial for fostering gender equality and creating a more just and equitable society in North Korea. Double duty, the struggle of working mothers. North Korean women face the arduous task of juggling work and family responsibilities, often bearing the brunt of unpaid domestic labor. Despite the state's emphasis on women's participation in the workforce, traditional gender roles persist, placing a disproportionate burden on women to manage both their careers and their families. This double duty creates significant challenges and often leaves women with little time or energy for personal pursuits. While men are expected to be providers, their involvement in household chores and childcare remains limited. Women are often left to handle the majority of domestic tasks such as cooking, cleaning, laundry, and childcare, in addition to their paid jobs. This unequal division of labor often results in women working longer hours than men, with little time for rest or leisure. The lack of affordable and accessible childcare options further exacerbates the challenges faced by working mothers. Many women rely on extended family members or informal networks for childcare, which can be unreliable and limit their ability to pursue career advancements or work full-time. The government's limited investment in social safety nets, such as affordable childcare and parental leave policies, does little to alleviate the burden on working mothers. The double duty placed on women's shoulders not only impacts their physical and mental well-being, but also hinders their career progression and economic empowerment. Addressing this imbalance requires a societal shift in attitudes toward gender roles, greater government support for working families, and policies that promote work-life balance for both men and women. Political invisibility, limited representation and voice. Despite the facade of female empowerment projected by the North Korean government, women remain largely absent from positions of political power and decision-making. The country's political landscape is dominated by men, with women holding a disproportionately small number of seats in the Supreme People's Assembly, the country's unicameral legislature, and other key government bodies. The ruling Workers' Party of Korea, the sole governing party, also reflects this gender imbalance, with women occupying few leadership positions. This lack of representation at the highest levels of government means that women's voices are often unheard in policy discussions and decisions that directly impact their lives. The absence of female perspectives in policymaking perpetuates existing inequalities and hinders the development of policies that address the unique challenges faced by women. Furthermore, societal norms and expectations often discourage women from participating in politics, viewing it as a male domain. Women who do aspire to political office face significant obstacles including discrimination, lack of support networks, and limited access to resources and funding. Addressing this political invisibility is crucial for ensuring that women have an equal say in shaping the policies that govern their lives. Empowering women politically requires dismantling systemic barriers, encouraging their participation in political processes, and creating an environment where their voices are valued and amplified. Until women have equal representation and a seat at the decision-making table, their rights and interests will continue to be marginalized, hindering progress toward a more just and equitable society.